Alrighty guys, now I have a $4 million net worth at the age of 21. I know it might seem absolutely ludicrous to say on the screen and to say out loud, but it is the truth. You know, whether you choose to believe me or not is completely up to you. What I will go ahead and do though is send a few screenshots on the screen right now and a bunch of kind of videos going through sort of what I do. And I want to kind of make a video kind of sharing while I play zombies, one of my favorite games, exactly how I've done what I've done and what I sort of invest my money in having a net worth like this at this kind of age. Now, to begin with, I kind of want to share a little bit of where my income comes from. Now, I make about $100,000 a month from my coaching program. That's blakerind.co. That's essentially teaching other people, and holy shit, Paralyzer. It's essentially teaching other people how I make money online, teaching others how to do YouTube automation and kind of do what I've done as well. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh, you know, I make all my money from YouTube, because that would be bullshit. A lot of my money and a fair chunk of my money comes from my program. Again, teaching other people how to make money on YouTube. That's about $100,000 a month. Now, the other money that I make, it's about $100,000 a month from external things. So total, it's about 200K a month. Now the rest, it's about 50K a month from Snapchat. Again, I'm going to put some screenshots on the screen right now of a few of the Snapchat shows that I run. This has been an ongoing thing that I've run for many, many years now. It is essentially those short videos that are on Snapchat where you can kind of scroll through. It's called Snapchat shows. It's essentially their discovery feed. And again, as I said, that makes me about 50K a month, give or take, in terms of actual net profit. Now the other 50K comes from a bunch of other sources. So I make about $10,000 to $20,000 a month from my softwares, that being produce.so and vid.gg. And then I make the rest of my money from YouTube automation, which again is the bread and butter. And that's sort of what I teach. Now that is essentially from ultra long form content. If you guys don't know what that is, it's essentially like 2 to 3 hour long videos that people use to fall asleep to. That's essentially how I make money in that sense. On YouTube specifically, I'll also go ahead and put some videos up and some screenshots up of channels that I actually run, and very, very similar channels to what I do. Now that you kind of understand where my income comes from, and I'm not just a complete random, I sort of want to share a little bit of info on where my money actually goes. Now I'm going to turn power on, and holy shit, I'm completely set up on round 2. This map is way too overpowered. But again, as I was saying, guys, the majority of my money comes from those sources. And in terms of my investment, it's a bit of a weird thing. So I have about $1.6 million sitting in literally just liquid. That means just sitting in my business account. It's probably not the best idea. And yes, I have had people tell me, you know, don't do that. It's a completely dumb idea. And yes, I hear you guys. I'm just very risk kind of conscious, and I'm always worried about, you know, wasting the money or, you know, messing something up. So that's the main reason why I haven't thought of taking it out of that just yet. So it's sitting at about a 4.4% interest yield savings account over at Combank. So again, not bad whatsoever. I'm only getting about 65K a year on that, which again, isn't even that good considering inflation. Then I've got $220,000 in a car. Now that is my C8 Corvette, which again, you might be saying, how the fuck did you spend that much money on a Corvette? I'm based in Australia. So in Australia specifically, if you guys don't know, cars are much more expensive. I'll go ahead and put a screenshot on the screen right now of the car that I drive. And again, this is about 220K all up. I believe it was 195K to actually purchase the car, and then to wrap it was about 3, and then to do the transfer fees and everything at the Australian government, that was another like 15 to 20K. Now for the actual big investment, this is probably my prized possession. I again live in Australia, and if you guys know anything about Australia, you would know that house prices are astronomical. They are ridiculous, guys. They are genuinely ridiculous. And I managed to buy a house completely in liquid. So by saving for the entire time that I was working online since a very young age, I managed to save enough to purchase a house. Now this house I purchased for $2 million liquid. It is a 750 square meter block with a 20 meter frontage in Sydney, Australia, which again, if you guys know anything about Sydney, it is a very expensive place. And I managed to get very lucky and purchase that for a fantastic price. Now that was the majority of my liquid at the time. So I really just sat on that block of land for a good amount of time. I believe about 1 to 2 years, until I sort of built up the money to knock that place down and actually build a residence on it. And that again was my final house. Now it's still not finished, but I have been getting very close to the end of it. I believe there's about a month and a half to 2 months left on the property. It ended up taking like 2 years to get built. I'll go ahead and make a few videos and images on the screen very soon to what the house actually looks like now, just so you know I'm not completely full of shit. But again, it has been a very long and stressful process, but I bought that for 2 mil. I put about $1 million into the build to actually build it, and now current valuation price of properties in Sydney and what I think it's going to be worth, and you know, appraisal wise, probably sitting on about a $4 million house that I own outright. That is again a big chunk of my portfolio, but I'm not going to sit here and lie. When it comes to actually purchasing that house, I did have the help of my mum. She's also a very successful person in the business space, so she was willing to go half and half with me. So that's why, even though it's worth 4 mil, I'm not going to go ahead and say that, you know, that adds to my net worth, because then I would have like a 6 mil net worth. But again, I don't own the entire thing. I own half of it. So in terms of the actual liquid value that I have in that property, it's sitting at $2 million. So again, I have 1.6 mil sitting in my business account, and then I have 2 mil or so sitting in that property that I obviously own. Now, again, I have quite a few other things, and I'd honestly say that I'm really, oh my God, I'm really not the best at investing, guys. Like, I don't have any stocks. I don't really have anything like that. I do have about 200K in crypto, but again, guys, I've always said this, making money doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you make. And this is something my mom has always said to me from a very young age. It doesn't matter how much you make. It matters what you do with it. So with my money, I've just always been really frugal. I wouldn't even say frugal. Like, I spend a lot of money on, business and things that bring me joy, but I definitely don't go out there buying designer clothes and buying, Louis Vuitton and all this bullshit stuff. I don't do stuff like that. I don't really get enjoyment from that, but I do definitely spend where I enjoy. So again, even though I don't really invest my money that well, I do have about 200K in crypto, which again, I know I say, oh, I only have 200K. I know it's a lot of money. It's down quite a bit actually at the moment, but I don't have anything in stocks. I don't have anything like that. But again, now I sort of have made it a little bit clear on, where my money is, where it's sort of allocated and how I've done things like that. But I want to kind of get into depth now on how you guys can kind of do the same thing. So again, my bread and butter, what I really see the most potential in is, of course, YouTube automation. Now, you're free to do with this what you will. I'm not here to sell you a course. I don't give a shit if you trust me. If you don't, if you think I'm completely full of crap, it makes complete sense. I mean, the majority of gurus in the online space specifically are full of shit. Let's be real. The majority of them made their money from selling their course, and I'm not completely oblivious to this. It's not as if I'm saying, look, I don't make money from my course. I do make money from my course. I make 100 grand a month. It's a very, very big chunk of my income that comes from my program. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and sell you a fake promise. It is the truth. But there are so many ways getting into the fact of just utilizing AI and utilizing all these new tools that have just come out to actually generate an insane amount of money on the online space, even with zero experience. Like, for example, guys, let's say you're running an ultra long form channel. These are those really, really long YouTube videos you might see for people to fall asleep to, like, space facts to fall asleep to, scary stories to fall asleep to, content like that. Now, because these videos are so long, they have an RPM, so how much you're paid per 1,000 views, of anywhere from $25 to $45. That's just because the videos are so fucking long. And the funniest part is these videos weren't makeable without the use of AI, because again, you would have had to pay for, think of companies like National Geographic, these massive businesses. They're really the only people that were actually able to afford to create these very, very long videos on YouTube in the past. That's why for a very long time, ultra long form content simply wasn't really doable. But now, given the versatility of AI, you can literally generate a 3-hour long voiceover in 11 Labs for like $30, $20, $10. Previously, and I know this from experience, I was spending thousands a month when I was first doing YouTube on just paying voice actors. And guys, I know a lot of you might have different stances on, the use of AI and whether it's actually morally correct or whether it's actually good for the, for the people. Do with that what you will. I'm obviously going to utilize what's going to set me the most ahead. I don't really think it hurts that many people. But again, guys, what I'm trying to make clear now is that this wasn't possible years ago. This wasn't possible, heck, even last year. Claude has become so good at writing scripts that you can write those 3-hour long scripts, even as a complete beginner with zero knowledge on YouTube, zero knowledge on script writing, zero knowledge on YouTube automation as a whole, and make insanely optimized scripts in literal minutes. I mean, I even have a software that I created, Produce.so, that literally generates the ultra long form videos for you. I'm talking fully edited, everything. And it's the exact same software that I use and that I've had all my students use to generate these ultra long form videos and make tens of thousands of dollars a month. And guys, trust me, I'm not trying to sell you the software. I'm genuinely teaching you that you could do this yourself. Open up Premiere, open up CapCut. Yes, it will take you a little bit of time to get the hang of it. But again, starting an ultra long form channel is very, very easy. Even the person that's editing this video right now, who's been my full-time editor for a few years now, he actually runs an ultra long form channel. He just got monetized. He's fucking killing it. He's probably watching this video. Leave a little note on the screen right now if you are. But again, it has just become so fucking easy. Even if you're doing anything with AI, it doesn't necessarily need to be that. E-commerce, Claude has revolutionized e-com. It doesn't matter what it is. Dedicate enough time to something that it becomes unrealistic for you not to succeed. Again, I know I might sound like any of these gurus out there, Alex Hormozi, Iman Gadzhi, these type of people. But again, there is truth in that. Optimize something, become the best at something, and genuinely just work at something that you actually have fulfillment from. And this is, again, something that I've said numerous times in the past. If you don't enjoy the way that you're making money, it's not going to be long term. That's just the honest, blunt truth of the matter. I know for a fact, like when I was doing Snapchat, even though I was getting an insane amount of revenue from Snap back in the day before, shows became shit, I was making 250 grand a month from Snapchat. There was a time when we were literally clearing 250K net. No, not gross, not just like gross revenue. This was profit that I was taking home every single month to myself, 250 grand. And again, it didn't bring me any fulfillment. It wasn't fun. I had a team of Filipinos that would do all the content for me, and it really didn't give me satisfaction. That's why I built Produce.so, the software that actually generated the videos, because again, I made it in-house for myself to begin with. And then I was like, hold on, why don't I just redistribute this? I grew it to about $30,000 in monthly recurring revenue. And then I ended up just like shutting it down and locking it behind my mentorship. So only my mentorship clients were able to actually get access to that software, which again, even to this day was a little bit of a controversial change because we had so many people that actually relied on this software, but I just felt like it was a very necessary and worthwhile change. Again, guys, if you do want to work with me, that's blakeryan.co. I know this channel isn't really to sell mentorships. This is more for me to just play games and sort of talk more openly and raw with you guys directly. But I figured I'd add that just in case any of you guys do resonate with this video and it's something that you do want to go ahead and take on. But again, guys, I want to make this crystal clear. Making 5, 10, 20K a month online, given just how easy everything is progressing, is not hard at all. And I want every single one of you guys to succeed. And genuinely, the truth of the matter is, if you're on this side of YouTube and you've made it this far in the video, chances are you are an entrepreneur, or maybe you're trying to be an entrepreneur. You have that entrepreneurial drive, or else you probably wouldn't have made it this far. So again, if I can leave you guys with anything, it's that it doesn't matter what you make, it matters what you do with it. Be very safe with your money, be very careful with your money, and genuinely just take an extra step every single day to ensure that what you're doing is bringing you happiness, and whatever business model you're doing is something that you actually want to do long term. And again, dedicate enough hours to it that it becomes unrealistic for you not to succeed. Again, guys, I'm Blake Ryan. If you want to work directly with me in actually scaling an ultra long form channel and you want to get access to all of my softwares, go ahead and check out blakeryan.co. It'll be linked down below. Book a completely free call with my team. Again, guys, if you aren't monetized in the first 90 days of working with me, you get a complete money back guarantee. No questions asked at all. But again, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know how the fuck we have a Paralyzer and Raygun Mark II on round 9. This was a very, very lucky run. But yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I will see you all later.